April 9th, 2024, 9:30 p.m. Okay, it has been about 10.5 hours since the last one, and not seeing a whole lot of remarkable difference at this point. Some of them, yeah. Interesting. Let's take a look. First up, we have the Coloplast Brava 12036. And there is the before and after of that. I definitely, yep, fantastic. Spilled some water onto the bed, and the water was dripping onto my foot. A delightful feeling. Anyway, Coloplast Brava 120306. It seems to have stopped getting larger, but I almost wonder if it were in a bigger bowl, if it would just continue growing. There has to be an upper limit to like how far this thing would stretch out, but I am kind of curious. All right. As far as deterioration, which is the primary goal for determining in this video, deterioration-wise, this thing is actually holding up really well. As far as falling apart, it is keeping its texture intact, even if its shape has grossly overshadowed its original form. Next up, we've got the Coloplast Brava 120307. I always want to skip that one O because there's no O. Ow! I'm really bad at pouring water on myself today. That's very disappointing. Focus. Coloplast Brava 120307. Alright. That is the before and after. Again, deterioration wise, we're not seeing any meaningful falling apart of the ring. It is roughly close to its original size. The outside of it and the inside of it, smooth edges. The water is clear, indicating there's no fall apart and cloudiness in the water. Okay, let's see if I can manage to pick the next one up without dripping whatever it is that's in there all over me, because it is not a pleasant thing to look at. Oh my goodness. So, we're looking at the Convatec brand Eakins Cohesive 839005. Here is that happy critter. Get a nice close-up view of that. You can see it certainly has fallen apart. You see the little pieces floating in there and the pieces at the bottom. And it's very, very cloudy, indicating a lot of something has come out of the water, out of the ring and into the water. Okay, Osteoform Flow Assist OFA-M. Put the knife down for a second. I can do a size comparison here. That is the before and after situation of this ring. Again, we could fit a new one inside the space that's left by the old one. It's looking smooth and clean on the edges. There's not a lot of fall apart, like deterioration, that's occurring here. We can see very clearly to the bottom my glove under the bowl. So we're not seeing a lot of leaching of chemicals or pieces into the water. But my goodness, that sure got real big. Alright, next we're going to look at the Hollister Adapt Sarah Ring 8805. This is the original ring here. Here's a size comparison of them both. And I'm going to set this down. I'm trying my best not to spill anymore. This is pretty blown out. You can't even see my hand barely underneath the water. Well, what used to be water at one point, because of the break apart. It is it's falling apart at the seams. It's also enlarged itself. So I would say this one's not holding up so well to the whole stress test situation. But to be fair, it certainly has been a long time. And then last is the Hollister Adapt 7805. Here's a side-by-side comparison. Roughly the same size still. There is a little bit of a jagged edge. And it's another one of those situations where you can kind of not see my hand anymore underneath. You can make out that it's a shadow there, but that's not the clarity that we saw with some of those other ones. So there's definitely something leaking out. It's a little bit on the jagged side, a few spots here. I'm going to spin this around so let's take a real good look at this. You can still see the original tab, which is indicating that it's really kind of keeping its shape pretty well. And then the inside diameter of the hole here is remarkably similar to its original state. So that looks like kind of a mixed bag going on there, because I mean, we do have that cloudy water and we do see some deterioration, but as far as retaining its original shape and size, that one's doing really well. Let's see, and just real quick at the end here, since I did close-ups on all the other ones, I might as well do a quick close-up here so you can see what I'm talking about with the very smooth edges going on with the Coloplast Brava 12036 and the other one here, which is the 120307. Remarkably smooth, very, very smooth finish. And again, you can see my gloves clearly, like, you know, I'm showing 2 fingers underneath the water. You can make that out. So interesting. Obviously, I'm figuring different chemicals and compounds are being used to make these up, and they're all going to handle it a little bit differently. All right, well, that is it for tonight. We'll check back in tomorrow.